Okay, are either one of these in slope form? Plug in. Emilio, pay attention. Put it away, please. Have a piece of paper out. You want to write this out. Are either one of these in slope form? Come on, I'm asking questions. Slope form is y equals mx plus b. Are either one of these in slope form? No. So that's where we have to start, right? So let's start with the bottom one because the bottom one's pretty easy, right? How do I get this equal to y? Subtract 1/4 x. Please write this down. You're turning this in as an assignment. This is going to cancel out. This is going to be y equals, what do I write first?
1 negative.
Yes, the x, right? Because we need rise and run. This one's ready to go, correct? Okay, now let's look at the other one. Okay, what do I need to do on this one?
Plug in the y.
No, I don't. I touched the y last, right? I want to get the y by itself. Very good. Subtract 1/2 x. Subtract 1/2 x. Can I combine these?
No.
Why not? Well, they're different. No, fraction has nothing to do with it. The variable. Because there's a variable, these are not like each other, right? So we're 1/3 y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5, right? How do I solve this now? Divide what?
1/3.
What type of math is this right here? Division. How do we undo division? Multiplication. Very good. When we have a fraction next to a variable, how do we solve it? It's an R word. It's an R word. It's probably up on
Reciprocal.
Very good. 3/1. Why do we do that? Yeah, it cancels out. 3 times 1 and 1 times 3 is 3/3, right? Which is 1. What's in front of every variable we can't see? An imaginary what?
1.
Very good. So this cancels out, right? Okay, what we do to one side, we do to another. So over here, we're going to write 3/1. I have a question. Does that 1 matter?
No.
Yeah, anything over 1 is itself, right? So we don't need to worry about the 1. Okay? So this is in parentheses, which means we're multiplying this by 3. What do we need to do here? How do we solve this? Vocab word. Starts with a D.
Denominator.
No. No. What do we need to do with this 3?
Distributive.
Very good. Distributive property. We need to multiply it by this and by this. Wait a minute, Mr. Peters, I don't know how to multiply a fraction versus a whole number. Yes, you do. Negative 1/2 multiplied by 3. Jose, what do I do to the 3? What do I do to the 3? Very good. So you mean you do know this? Okay, negative times a positive. What's my answer? What sign is it? Positive or negative? There, good. What's 3 times 1? What's 2 times 1? So that's it so far? Okay, so we're equals negative 3/2. Do we need to turn this back proper? No. Why? Why don't we?
This is slow.
That's right. Rise and run can be an improper fraction. We're okay with it. We're not done yet, right? We need to multiply 5 times 3. What's 5 times 3? Do we have these in slope form? Yes. Raise your hands. How many forgot this? Be truthful.
No.
Oh.
I was trying to do that, but I didn't know how to do it.
Okay. Don't we have these both equal to y? We have this one equal to y and this one equal to y, right? Okay, so let's write them equal to each other. Negative 3/2 x plus 15 equals negative 1/4 x plus 10. How do I start this problem? Does it really matter? I have x's on both sides, I have numbers on both sides, right? So it doesn't matter. Pick one. I don't care. 15. Minus 15, minus 15, right? We cancel it out. This is negative 5. Bring down the rest of the problem. Negative 1/4 x equals negative 3/2 x. Didn't we just cover this? Kind of? Do we have x's to one side? What do I need to do next? Don't I have numbers to one side? So what do I do now? Add what? Yes. Right? We got to do the opposite of this to get the x to the other side. Wait a minute. I don't know how to do fractions. Yes, you do. What do I need to do to these two fractions? Very good. I'm going to write it over here. 3 over 2. This one's minus and plus 1/4. Are these divisible by each other? But 2 goes into 4, correct? So write 4 over here. Draw a line underneath it. What is 4 divided by 2? 2, right? 2 times 2 is 4. What we do to the bottom, we do the top. Jose, tell me the answer. Okay? And 1/4, right? Which one's larger, the negative or the positive? 1/4, 6/4. What's larger, 6 or 1? Okay? So we're going to subtract, right? Is 5 over 4? Is it positive or negative? Right? This one's larger. Is everyone following so far? Okay. So we took the fractions, right? And we got it down to negative 5 over 4x equals negative 5. Wait a minute, I don't know how to solve that. I disagree. How do we solve that? We just did it earlier. There's a fraction next to a variable. What do we do? It's an R word. Okay, so someone tell me what to do. Okay, these cancel out, right? Now we get x by itself equals, my answer's positive, right? What's 5 times 4? And what's 5 times 1? What's 20 divided by 5? What's 20 divided by 5?
4.
Do I know what my x is?
4.
Okay, does it matter which equation I plug this into? We made them equal to each other, right? So which one's easier, this one or this one? Yeah, so write that. 1/4 x plus y equals 10. Draw a line underneath it. Someone give me a vocab word. What am I doing with this x?
Substitute.
Very good. 1/4 parentheses 4 plus y equals 10. What's this right here? Can anyone see it without even having to solve it? Stands out like a... It's 4 over 4, right? Because there's... Very good. It's 1. So this is 1 plus y equals 10. We're going to subtract 1, y equals what? Are we done?
Yeah.
That's the hardest problem you're going to see. That same exact problem is going to be on the test. Do not forget reciprocals and how to multiply fractions and whole numbers. Okay? Any questions on this? You want to go through it one more time?
Do you do keep change flip when you divide the fraction or
You can. Yeah. As long as you keep the problem balanced. So, once again, get them both equal to y, right? The only thing you haven't seen in a while is that you had a fraction in front of the variable, okay? Which means you're going to flip it over. When you flip it over, that's going to cancel out. You have to multiply it by the other side, right? But you got to make sure you do distributive property. You can't just do it against the m, the rise and run. You also have to do it against the y-intercept, right? Then from there, you're able to figure out what your x is. Doesn't matter which one you plug it into because we made them equal to each other. However, choose the easier one, right? There's no reason to do 2 fractions when you don't need to. Okay? Was there other ways to solve this? There was. We put these in slope form, right? We could have graphed them out. However, that would have been difficult. We could have graphed them out. We could have found where they're intersected, 4 and 9. We could have solved it that way. Or we could have got 1 equal to y, substituted it into the other problem, and solve it that way. So there's multiple ways to do it. Okay? Is there any right or wrong way? No, not as long as you're following the right steps. This same problem is going to be where, Sierra? This same problem. So if you're getting ready for the test, how can you help yourself?
remember the answers for?
You're going to have to show me all this. You're going to have to show me all the steps. So you're turning this in. I would watch this video to go through it one more time. Okay? And make sure that you know how to graph. This is graphing, right?
Yeah.
Where do we start when we're graph? What's our starting point? Very good. The B, the y-intercept, right? Why do we do that? We know the rise and the run, we can go anywhere on the graph, right? But if we don't have the right starting point, it could be negative, it could be positive, we don't know. We need this starting point, okay? You guys know the steps of how you get it equals to y. You do the inverse operation, do the opposite, right? So if you have 1/4 x, you're adding 1/4 x to the other side, correct? You got to keep the problem balanced. This is the easiest test you're going to have because we went backwards to make sure that everyone knew how to graph, okay? This exact problem is going to be on the test, okay? You want to turn this in, you've got to do now. I have a question. Is this in slope form? It's not?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, what's my b?
0, 0.
Very good. And what do we call that? Yes, you do. One more time. What do we call it? What do we call 0, 0?
0, 0.
I heard it. Who said it? Mena! Yes, it's origin. So if you don't have a b, you use 0, 0. Okay? And then graph it out. So 0, 0 down 3/1. When is the only time we go to the left?
Negative.
Yep. What type of negative? Help me out. What's the only time we go to the left?
Double negative.
Like this?
When the denominator is negative.
When you have a fraction. It means this is down 2 and a run to the left. This is the only time it happens. What happens when you have this? What do?
1 down.
Yep. Is the 1 positive or negative?
Positive.
Yes. This is the only time you go to the left. You want to remember this. You are going to have something like this on the test, okay? If you have a negative fraction, that means you're going to the left on the run. Everything else is to the right. Even if the number is negative, right? Because if you're arbitrarily having at least a run of 1, it's going to the right. Okay? Any questions? Okay. You have your worksheet. You want to finish the worksheet and turn it in. You want to do this do now. How do I solve this do now right here? Is this problem pretty easy to do?
Yeah.
Tell me what to do. Okay, and then how do we get rid of the 2? Excellent. That's it. That's it. Okay. Okay, you want to get your do now and turn it in? You want this problem written out and turned in as well. Okay? Take your worksheet if you don't finish it in class and finish it tonight, come in ready.